Hi, my name's Henry Owens for EEE120, and I'm going to show you my Capstone today. First, we have the machines that I had to design to build. So this controller for a gate with 2 inputs, 2 outputs. The first design based on customer preference was simplicity focused. Make sure that the gate can't be opened unless both inputs are a 1, no matter what the other configurations may be. Manually require the user to close the gate and have a timeout after a certain time. I designed that as a 4-state system with S0 as the default as off, and then S1 means you got an incorrect password as input, at which time it activates a 0, 1, so the gate is closed and warning alarm triggers. If another incorrect password happens, then S3 is triggered, where it stays perpetually until reset. If from state S0 or state S1 a correct password is entered, it's enter state S2, where the gate opens with the alarm off and it stays there until reset. Design number 2. With this one, instead of simplicity, I focused on convenience. So it has timeout. This one allows up to 4 attempts instead of just 2, which to me seems more logical. And based on customer feedback, it seemed acceptable. So we start in state S0. If from state S0, S1, or S2 a correct password is input, 1, 1 is received, then it goes to state S4 where it stays until reset. If an incorrect password is entered, the first time it goes to state S1 where the alarm will sound, the warning alarm will sound, and it just does that warning alarm with gate off. Another incorrect password sends to state S2. Then from state S2, if a third one is triggered, it still stays in F2. Otherwise, you can still go to S4. If a 4th consecutive incorrect password is entered, you enter state S3 where it stays until reset. The instructions requested that we have an intentional flaw where after a time it resets anyway. So anytime, I set this where anytime where the P equals 0, it would automatically return to state S0. I did that by connecting the P not to the clear function on the JK flip-flops. Here's the logic we have there. One quirk with this was these equations only work if I'm not going to repeat S2, but because I repeated S2, I had to change this and remove an OR gate there. Between these designs, design 1 is simpler, design 2, 1, the logic seems more straightforward to me, and 2, I think it's more convenient to the user, so that's the one that I went with. Here is the design. So here's the P and F inputs. P naught here, as I mentioned before, is directly connected to the reset, which triggers the clear. So anytime P naught is active, clear is active. Here's the W for the warning alarm, G for the gate. Anytime W0, so here's the main 3 logic ones, and then this is essentially you got it correct, this is you got it wrong. For the passwords, anytime W0 is active, it triggers the warning, and then if you get perpetual incorrect passwords, you move down through these series of delays until eventually, if you trigger W3, then not only will you be in that state, no matter what input is received, it stays in that state. Anytime a correct password is input before then, as long as W4 hasn't activated, and Q2 is active from a correct input, then it activates the gate. It activates this constant delay, so the gate will always be active, and it blocks W from being active. Let's show you how that happens. So let's assume that we get the password correct from state 0 and go to state 4. Now we're in state 4. Now more cycles can happen. It still works. Even with the incorrect password, it works. If it stays like this for a time, as mentioned in the design, if P naught happens, it times out, the system is reset. Then let's say we got the password incorrect once. The warning is on, W0 is active, and this is the first in a series of delays, but from here we could still put in the correct password, and it happens. So again, I'm going to reset this time. All right, the reset button works. Now we'll get an incorrect password once, twice. We can still get a correct password, and it opens. go from state 0 to state 1, state 2, repeat state S2, and we can still trigger the correct password. Reset there. Now state S1, S2, still S2. Now, once I trigger it, W3 is active on the input for W4. So no matter what the next clock cycle has, W4 will activate and it will block this, so G cannot happen. So even with a correct input, the gate stays closed, the warning alarm happens, and it stays that way perpetually. Last series that we haven't done yet is just a series of incorrect. So state 1, S2, still S2, and then we've entered state S3. And then we can still do more incorrect. Right. That's everything for this design. Thanks. Have a good day.